Hi there, I'm Terces and I want to welcome you to the Unreasonably Grateful podcast, Living in Grace by Choice. So once again, like every week before this one, I want to welcome you. Some of you, this may be your first time listening in. Others of you have been with me for a while. Some of you listen in every now and then. And wherever you are on your journey of kind of piecing back the pieces of yourself and further discovering more about who you were created to be, I want to welcome you and thank you and encourage you. And I'm grateful you're here. Thank you for sharing your journey with me and giving me the opportunity to share my journey with you. So, when my journey began 38 years ago, after living an addictive lifestyle for 20 years, from 16 years old to 36 years old, having dealt with sexual abuse and then keeping it a secret and living with an eating disorder, surviving, really running. After that, these 38 years, there's been tidbits of wisdom that I've gleaned over these years. And this podcast is about letting some of that wisdom out and sharing it. It isn't that I have your answers. I certainly don't. I do believe that you do. And sometimes when we hear somebody else's story and what they've been through, something clicks or resonates for us, and we hear something that we haven't heard before. And hearing it opens a door or gives us a little crack in the facade that we're living in, and it gives us some freedom and some movement and the ability to take the next step. That's my hope for you. So, also, I want to remind you that on Tuesdays, I offer individual sessions. And what a session is really is it's 25 minutes where I sit as an elder and I listen and I watch. And I have the most amazing privilege and honor of being able to reflect back to you what I see and what I hear. And almost always what that is some bigger, brighter, more encouraging version of yourself than the one you're listening to or seeing and then living out. And I think that we all need those elders. We all need someone to champion us and encourage us and share with us what they see until we can step into that and see it for ourselves. So I want to say, because this particular episode is titled, There's No Such Thing as Quitting, I want to say that there's plenty of times when I question, why am I still doing this? Why am I doing the Tuesday sessions? Because we all have these voices that want to distract us from being up to something for good. And I hear those, and then I remember it would only take one person hearing one thing, that if that eased their journey or encouraged them on or helped them get closer to a new freedom, it would well be worth it. And so I show up. And always, 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 I leave those sessions with, oh my gosh, I'm so glad that I do this, because I have this privilege and luxury of sitting in front of beautiful people and sharing and opening their eyes to that beauty and softening some of the lessons they may be going through so that they're just not quite so hard to get or to take. So anyway, if you're interested, you can sign up on tercesenglehart.com under the section that says Work Together, and it's on a donation basis. Okay, so let's take a look at, there's really no such thing as quitting. So how many of you have ever thought, I just want to quit. I don't want to keep going on. And I just want to share with you, there's no such thing. Like, even if you quit whatever it is that you say you're quitting, you're still alive. You're still moving. You're still taking the next step. Maybe it's in a different direction than the direction you were going. But you can't quit. You can't quit on you. You can't quit on that ever expanding opportunity to be more loving, to be kinder, more generous. There's no such thing. Now this is where I am. And maybe the cast of characters may change in the play, but you're still in it. This is your life. This is this precious life that you've been given. And what you're doing with it is what you're doing with it. So the notion of quitting, I think it's just a distraction. Like I said earlier, I think it's simply an interruption in the process to take a break, to let us entertain the quitting conversation. So what I recommend is when you get to that place, when you hear that, when you're thinking about it or maybe considering it, what I want you to do is ask yourself, who's quitting on whom? What am I quitting on? Because what I think you'll discover is that what you want to quit is simply, I just don't want to take any more responsibility. I'm done. My husband and I have this terminology, done. When we're just done, we're done. Now, maybe you need to take a rest. Maybe you need to take a break. Maybe you need to take better care of yourself, eat better, sleep better, exercise more. But that's not quitting. And if you look at it and you ask yourself, who am I quitting on and what am I quitting on and why am I quitting? I think you'll discover you're just being guided to another step towards either self-care or more compassion or more empathy, or it's just the hesitation before you open your heart to more love. See, quitting is like, I don't want to. I don't want to do it. I can't do it. Those are some of the words that go with quitting. This is too hard. It's too hard for me. And usually what's right there is a doorway into a bigger, bolder, more beautiful, more expansive expression of ourselves as a being of love. And we're still holding on to something that's inhibiting our stepping fully into that expression. So when you feel like, or when you're entertaining that you want to quit, I recommend rest. Create a little more quiet time in your life. Silence, prayer, meditation, sleep, whatever it is, take a break and get yourself ready. Because I suspect that more love is just about ready to enter into you. So I'll be here next week and I'll look forward to seeing you then. Have a great week.